Let's start with the introduction.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Anurag, and there is my friend Chinmay, and we are back on the
Podcast.
podcast series, the new episode of the podcast. And today's topic will be Webhook. We will be delving dive into the theory of webhooks, the advantage, disadvantage, and what is the fundamental concepts of webhook. And Chinmay would be sharing you a code snippet. We will be sharing a demo, and so that we can cover the both part, theoretical part, and as well as the coding part. So welcome back. Over to you, Chinmay.
Yeah, thank you. Hey everyone, this is Chinmay, and I think Anurag already gave a very nice introduction as usual. So today we just want to try to simulate the webhook, and it's a very simple, or like very like quite popular use case, which is payment status. So अगर webhook, if you don't know what is webhook, so webhook, like as name suggests, it is something like you pull over web, like when needed. So like why do you need to pull it? You need to like it's like a hook which you pull to trigger something at some other end, but from other end. So like from point A, you want to you pull a string which can trigger something at point B. Point B can be client, point A can be server, and vice versa. So we use
Yep.
webhook for real-time updates or notifications. So like and like okay, you might think okay, we can use web sockets for notifications or the real-time updates. No, like whenever you want to use, like wherever you want to use something in real time, you don't use WebSocket like every single time. It completely depends on the situation and the use case. Webhook we use when we don't want a duplex connection or a two-way real-time communication. We use webhook when we want just one-way real-time communication. So like client does not need to update me anything, but I need to update to the client, let's say for payment status every single time, whatever the status is. So let's assume a scenario where there is like client application and initiates a payment on the server, and उसके बाद to get the status of the payment from the server, for the client we have like two three options. One is like WebSocket, which is completely inefficient in this case, and like not useful. Or even if you use WebSocket, of course you can simulate perform this, but that will be like completely resource wasting, because we don't need that. Second is SSE, which is like real time updates, again one way real time communication, server sentiment. That is also not useful in this case, and we will be wasting our resources, because SSE में क्या होता है कि client is listening continuously from the server, और एक connection still you are having an active connection, so that's
बिल्कुल.
not needed. So server पे we will ended up doing a lot of resource wasting. The third option which we are using, which is a webhook. तो client के server पे there has to be URL which should get called from the server whenever server want to update a status. तो इसका बहुत easy way में इसका मतलब होता है कि client के पास there is a function or a method which client wants server to call to update the status. That's how
Yes,
it
yes.
it, it,
Yep.
it, it works basically. What do you think?
So, yes, yes, correct. What you said is 100% correct. So before going into this architectural diagram and coding part, I would like to take some time to explain the theoretical part. What webhook is actually, that's just a definition. So webhook is, as Chinmay already mentioned, that it's a there are multiple scenarios where you can use WebSockets and other communication protocols, but it is not advised to do so because of resource consumption and all those things.
Sounds option.
So webhook comes into the picture when you want to push some data on the go on some event.
Yeah.
Okay, let me explain this within a very simple example. You go to a grocery store and you want your favorite brand of chocolate. Okay, but the store manager tells you that this chocolate is not available at the moment and will be coming in few days. Now you have two options that to get this information that that chocolate is available to you or not on that particular day. You have two options. One is that you constantly every morning you call to the grocery store and ask him, "Ki is my chocolate available? Is my
Yeah.
brand available or not?"
Hmm.
Okay, this is called polling, which
Hmm.
is typically very use resource consumption because of course you have to call
Yeah.
every day to him and he
Like
will
keep
get
calling.
irritated
Yeah.
and will say, "Oh, it's not available
Hmm.
for you." Okay, this is polling, not advisable in this situation.
Yeah.
Another situation, another condition is that you ask the store manager that whenever the stock is available, he
Call.
will call you.
Yeah.
So this is webhook.
Webhook.
You are providing your number, your phone number is a webhook here. You are providing the client the information that whenever this event happens, you calls to me and I will take the action.
Hmm.
Okay, so I have implemented this webhooks in, I think my multiple projects in my organization.
Hmm.
So we mostly use it to do to prevent the resources to prevent the the condition of constant polling every minute every
Yeah.
second because this is just very example very easy example where you have a 24 hours window, but
Hmm.
in multiple conditions you have to the polling period would be in seconds. You have to
Hmm.
poll every second.
Hmm.
So in that situation this polling is not a good
Yeah.
option.
Resource consuming.
So yes, resource consumption. And
Yeah.
WebSocket is a completely different part. I don't think our viewers are smart enough to differentiate where to use in fact
No,
WebSockets
on
and
the internet ना
uh,
on the
yeah.
on the internet ना गूगल पे इनको
Uh,
बहुत ज़्यादा confusion है. They are highly confused between WebSockets, Webbooks and server sentiments. क्योंकि सब
अरे,
तीनों का काम real time है. They like all of them can do some real time communication, but like when to use
when to use and
WebSockets
where to use
and
it's
where to use it, it is
it's
very
on your use
important.
case. It's
Yeah,
on your particular use case.
yeah.
Okay. My camera is in focus, Chinmay. Can you confirm it or it is out of focus?
When you go back ना तो थोड़ा सा it is like it
Okay.
is being out of focus. Right now it is a little blurry, but if you come
Oh,
closer to
yeah.
the camera, then it's fine. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Now
Okay.
it's perfect.
Now it is fine. Okay. So
Yeah.
where we were on the example of WebSockets and advantage of WebSockets. So one is that you need not to do continuous polling, and this is resource efficient because it is resource efficient and you did not do continuous polling. It is highly scalable. You can
Yeah,
give your URL.
yeah.
You give your phone number to multiple store vendors, and wherever it is available, they will call you.
Hmm.
And of course, it is asynchronous in nature. So I think that's. I think that is enough for theory. But yeah, one more. The term used for webhook is reverse API. Yeah, technically it is an API. It's an okay.
तो
Yes,
ओके. तो एक डायग्राम में लाऊं इसमें.
we were talking about the actual definition that
Definition.
some people on the Google says that webhook is nothing but a reverse API. That definition is also correct because it is just a URL point where your client will be pushing your data. Okay, so webhook is you can say it's a reverse API. The protocol, the payload is on the choice of developers.
Hmm.
So webhook is kind of reverse API. We can say that. We can conclude that part.
Yeah, and why we are saying reverse because like who create is never calls.
Hmm. Never got. Yes,
Yeah.
correct.
Okay, so we have a sequence diagram which will help us to understand like how the particular code simulation working which like we have created. So let's say we are having a client and then we are having a payment, this payment controller service and web controller and the web client. So this web client we are of course having on the server and payment controller
Mm-hmm.
we are having on the server and the service as well. Let's say client try to initiate a payment request, a post request API payment and then the process just to try to process the payment. Then payment controller receives a payment request with this data like amount, currency, so this is important. So like something is webhook URL. This is important. This is the URL coming from the client and server will be calling this URL or like hitting this URL whenever wants to send the update. So this URL is abhi in this simulation. This is coming from the client on the runtime. Like whenever client will be sending a URL. But usually क्या होता है like client need to register a particular URL, and on the server side we get that URL with the client ID and we save it to DB, and then that's how we do it like in the production level. But यहाँ पे for the simulation, just to make the simulation easy and maintainable, तो just client अपनी request के साथ ही trying to send a webhook URL. Payment service will try to process the payment. There is a there is a 3-second delay just to like simulate the payment, and then there is a logic which like randomly throw success or failure as in a payment is status. That goes to the web client, and web client is basically sending notification to the client. How? By hitting this webhook URL. So payment service, whatever the payment status is, send that to the web client, and then from the web client we create a post request to the client web controller. So this controller is on the server side, payment, and then web controller is on the client side.
Okay.
Okay. So webhook payment update. So basically here it receives the payment update with the order ID, status, and the timestamps, and then sends 200. Okay, that I got it. I got the update. That is necessary. And then when client send 200 to the web client on the server, then on the server web client sends update further to the payment service that notification has been sent. So that's how it is working right now. And basically this is the sequence diagram. And now if I try to show you the code, both the server is running, server and the client. So what I did, I just tried to simulate this setup in just one project. Usually मुझे 2 project बनाने पड़ते हैं, but I just try to create 2 main files, so I can run client and server within the same project. So that's what I'm doing here. So this is the server folder, and we will be giving the repository link in the description, so you can like look at the code. And this is a client. We are just having controller and a model, which is very simple. On the controller we are having like a post mapping on this address, payment update. So this is the basically think this is the route, this is the address जो कि server को call करना है as a webhook. And on the server we are having a controller जहाँ पे कि payment request आएगी. यहाँ से we are calling this process payment method, and the process payment method inside calling the notify webhook thing here, and here is the status. So it's quite easy code, but a little bit tricky to implement if you are not familiar with webhook. और ये इसका सिंपलेस्ट, जितना सिंपलिस्टिक वर्जन हो सकता था ये उतना सिंपल वर्जन है. प्रोडक्शन पे बेसिकली क्लाइंट नीड टू रिक्वेस्ट टू सब्सक्राइब themselves और सब्सक्राइब पर्टिकुलर एंड पॉइंट कि मुझे ये एंड पॉइंट आई जस्ट वांट टू रजिस्टर, एंड देन सर्वर पे वी सेव दैट इनटू DB with the client ID and everything. And then क्योंकि like server पे they have more than one client, so they need to identify कि ये service या request किस जगह से है, whatever it is. So that's how it is working. So and then this is the function basically like we are using web client. Web client is just in Java we use to make HTTP request within the server without a UI. And I think almost every language we can do this. That's not a big deal. So this is the thing. And just
I think Chinmay, just a simple question. This the URL which we are setting up, it's on HTTP protocol.
HTTP.
Okay.
Yeah.
Go ahead. Can we do it on gRPC?
Definitely.
Let's do it now. After this is a good choice, because we can scale it even more if we are using gRPC.
In the case of Webhook or like reactive programming, it is already like very scalable. But if we do it on gRPC, so there is a specific use case when we want to do it on gRPC.
Okay.
gRPC पे करने के लिए when the payload is very huge. Payload अगर JSON data shape वो अगर बहुत बड़ा है, then it is good to do on gRPC, because वहाँ पे होता है protobuf like binary data form, which will like dramatically reduce the data shape size.
Speed,
kind of,
speed will be increased.
and the speed.
Any example you can think about, Chinmay, with the heavy.
E-commerce, e-commerce.
Mm-hmm.
In
Okay.
in case of not like complex data structure तब बन सकता है when basically you are like canceling or maybe like returning some order. Basically any like very बड़ा data JSON data shape का example e-commerce can be an example. और usually जब business payment होती हैं like B2B payment जो होती हैं maybe where we have
In
a
that
very
case,
huge data.
because a lot of information is being shared.
Yeah,
Apart from your like retailers information, there is information
बहुत ज़्यादा
from
information होती है.
bank side and
Yeah,
the caller.
या तो लाइक क्लाइंट है, फिर जो क्लाइंट का जो बैंक है और जिस बैंक में जा रहा है वो बैंक है, सो इन सब का इन
दोनों की
इंफॉर्मेशन व्हेन यू ट्राई टू
both
एग्रीगेट देम,
information,
तो इट्स ए वेरी ह्यूज जेसन.
both information.
या सो दैट इज द थिंग. इफ यू ट्राई टू रन द कोड, तो ये कैसे काम करेगा, लेट मी टेल यू. वी आर हैविंग अ सर्वर ऑन पोर्ट 8080 एंड वी आर हैविंग, okay, I don't think मैंने ये कोड जूम किया ही नहीं किया, बट बिकॉज वी विल बी गिविंग कोड इन टू द डिस्क्रिप्शन, सो लाइक इन द डिस्क्रिप्शन, सो जाके यू कैन चेक, एंड सो इट डजंट मैटर मैं जूम करूँ या नहीं, लाइक एट द एंड ऑफ द डे. एंड आई थिंक यू शुड पुट सम एफर्ट एंड गो टू द गिटहब एंड हैव अ लुक एट द कोड. अगर उतना नहीं करना है तो फिर मैं जूम भी क्या करूँ क्योंकि मैंने जूम किया नहीं इन द एंटायर एक्सप्लेनेशन. एनीवेज, तो पोर्ट 8080 is the server, port 8081 is the client. So what I need to do, I just need to make a curl request, which I do it this way. Okay, यहाँ पे I can zoom. Let me show you. Maybe I forgot to share the screen with Anurag. ठीक है अनुराग. Okay, let me share the whole screen, not just.
Yeah, okay. You were not sharing. You were not sharing the VS Code or like the.
हाँ, अभी देख, now you can see. Basically, this terminal I am using to make a request, the curl request, and this is the code. Like जो मैंने explain किया, that is exactly same, nothing else.
Mm-hmm.
So what we are doing, we are trying to hit a curl request on post HTTP localhost API payment process. So server पे we are going to put a request. ये zoom कैसे होगा? Yeah. So server पे we are going to hit a post request with this payment data, amount, currency, order ID. This is the webhook URL. This is the URL you want server to call. And now if I try to hit it, it will take some time and like 3-second delay, and it will give you success. So if you see like here in the terminal, then we have like on the client terminal, it's like payment received payment update for order 123 and payment state is success. If you go to the server, here you say webhook notification sent successfully, processing payment for order this and sending webhook notification to this URL, and webhook notification sent successfully. If we try to like test it with, maybe we say order ID not 123 but maybe 4, and we cannot change the webhook URL because in that case we have to change the code. So like order 143. So now you should like have a look at the like server side. If I try to, so
थोड़ा सा
as
can you
soon as
zoom, Chinmay? Can you zoom?
टर्मिनल पे, वेट यार, like if I try to make a curl request, तो like यहाँ पे सर्वर को देखना है ना, तो if you hit it ऐसे, तो जैसे ही यहाँ पे एंटर प्रेस किया, we can see that processing payment for order 143 and 3 सेकंड का था डिले, और 3 सेकंड के बाद sending webhook notification to this URL and send successfully. Now go to the client, you can see a received payment update for the order 143, payment status success, whatever it is, and same success. So point is, यहाँ पे point ये है कि जो point समझने वाला वो ये है कि हमने client पे एक payment को process करा और फिर on the server पे process किया, and then on the client side we got the payment status in real time without doing anything. We didn't do anything, but we have put some logic कि whenever there is a post request to this particular URL, do this. अब तो इसको रियल टाइम में लाइक हाउ यू कैन मेक इट. सो अगर मैं जो भी इस वीडियो को देख रहा है एंड इफ दे आर इंटरेस्टेड टू यूज इट इन देयर प्रोजेक्ट, सो आई हैव एन आइडिया लाइक हाउ दे कैन मेक अ रियली गुड प्रोजेक्ट. सो इस कोड को एज इट इज़ लो एंड देन व्हाट यू कैन डू ऑन द क्लाइंट साइड, यू कैन ट्राई टू इम्प्लीमेंट फायरबेस का नोटिफिकेशन API. ओके, तो
any SNS SQL server.
ऐसे ही. सो बेसिकली पेमेंट कंट्रोलर जो है क्लाइंट पे, जहाँ पे यू आर गेटिंग अपडेट फ्रॉम द सर्वर, उस अपडेट को यू कैन फर्दर प्रोसेस एज अ नोटिफिकेशन टू योर ऐप, और यू कैन सेंड एन ईमेल टू द क्लाइंट इन द केस ऑफ फेल्ड पेमेंट, इन द केस ऑफ डिक्लाइंड पेमेंट. उसके लिए you can just use email sending API from the SendGrid, which is quite popular, and then you can put a logic to send an email. And how you can make it highly scalable, just use a Kafka on the client side. So just keep pushing the status as data in the queue, and then one by one you can dequeue it and then send notification to the client in the form of email, in the form of notification, in the form of whatever you want to do. So that's how you can do it. So we explained the code, and we explained the process, we explained the sequence diagram, and I think we explained everything. And in the end, abhi bola, so we shared some ideas as well, like what you can do with this project. So like from my side, I think I don't have anything to say except that. So what about you, Anurag?
I think that's all. The idea, like the creativity lies on you, like on the viewers, where they want to use it. There are multiple cases and multiple scenarios I can imagine where the webhook can be used, and it is being used.
IoT में भी इसका होता है use.
IoT is just plethora of IoT project uses webhook because it's all about pushing data on the event, right? You are on the ship, and you want to push your coordinate, or you want to put a SOS message on the server. That's webhook.
इसका लॉजिक ऐसे हो सकता है कि शिप से बेसिकली लाइक you push coordinates and like situation, or maybe like let's say situation, like all okay, not good. So on the other hand, you can like there can be logic ki until unless there is no SOS wala situation data, don't do anything, just keep saving recording in DB. As soon as you get SOS, you have to update, or you have to do whatever you want to do.
Broadcasting, you have to broadcast. Like if you see any mayday message or mayday or any SOS message, you have to broadcast it. Otherwise, just keep on saving it.
Just keep on saving. Don't do anything. So I mean, it's quite interesting, and again, like as you said, the creativity completely lies on you, like what you want to do with it. Yeah. But in my case, like as you and me, as experienced, what to say, like engineer, maybe like we know it really well where to use WebSocket or where not to use Webhook, but it's still like if you try to explain this is a real time thing, so some people say कि इस पे तो can you make chat application?
There is a lot of chat for the chat application. You need to use WebSocket because it's a short time and it's a continuous application. There is a gap, there is a difference in all of the technologies, how they behave it. If you want to use WebSockets in here, you are wasting your resources.
Yeah, you're not a good engineer. That's it.
And you are using a webhook for a chat application. Again, you are a bad engineer.
If working in a company, while working for a company, if you are using WebSocket where you should use webhook, तो आपकी गलती नहीं, गलती उस पर्सन की जिसने हायर किया था. मे बी उसने भी ये करो, मतलब इट्स ट्रू, क्योंकि लाइक ऐसे क्वेश्चन आई थिंक आर वेरी इंटरेस्टिंग, और ऐसे यूज केस आर वेरी इंटरेस्टिंग. लाइक अगर इफ आई एम इंटरव्यूइंग समवन, आई माइट आस्क कि लाइक दिस इज द सिचुएशन एंड व्हाट वुड यू What would you
Ah,
like to use? WebSockets, SSE, or Webhook?
exactly,
And
exactly.
gRPC wala implementation is pretty nice. So maybe in some other video we will try to implement that as well.
Mhm.
That's nice.
It is just a difference of protocol, nothing else. It's just
Yeah, just the like communication protocol difference. In gRPC we have TCP. That's all.
that's okay then. I think that's all from my side, Chinmay.
Yeah, from my side, that's all for today in this video. And for the next video, maybe we'll again think some interesting use case of some interesting technology, and we will come back with another video of the podcast.
Thank you and
Okay,
have a
thank you
nice
for
day.
watching, and yeah, have a nice day. Maybe because tomorrow is holiday in Japan, and I don't know about India. Is
No,
off there?
no,
No,
no.
how
We
about
have
you?
a holiday on Tuesday, day after tomorrow.
Ah, okay. Like we have tomorrow. Anyways, okay then. See you in the next video. Bye bye.
Yeah, bye. Have a nice day.